sketch the rational function y is equal to x over x squared minus 16, which we can write using the fact that the denominator is a difference of perfect squares as x over x minus 4, x plus 4. Now we can spot a few things from this factorized form. The first thing is that this would be 0 if x was 4, or x is negative 4. Now we can't divide by 0, so that identifies for us the vertical asymptotes. So x equals negative 4 and x equals 4 are the vertical asymptotes. When x is 0, y is 0, so we know the graph will go through the origin. Now, let's think about what would happen as x tends to infinity. The top would get very, very large, but the bottom would be larger because we have x squared. That tells us that y is going to tend to 0. What about when x tends to negative infinity? The top is going to be large and negative. The bottom is going to be large and positive. It's going to be larger because of the x squared. So once again, y tends to 0. But in the first case, the top and the bottom would both be positive, so it's going to tend to 0 from above. And in the second case, the top is negative and the bottom is positive, so it will tend to 0 from below. Now, let's think about what happens in the region in between. The denominator, x squared minus 16, is going to be negative when x is between negative 4 and 4. Just try a value like x is 3, we'd have 9 minus 16 on the bottom. The top would be negative if we're in this region and positive if we're in this region. So in this region here, we have a negative divided by a negative, which is a positive. So that's going to tell us that our graph is going to head to infinity along the asymptote there. Then it's going to come in, it's got to go through 0. And when we move into the next region, we have a positive divided by a negative, which is negative. So it must head out along the asymptote in this direction. Now, when we're in this region here, x is positive, and once x is more than 4, the bottom here will be positive. So we know that we're going to head to 0 from above, from our earlier analysis. It's got to do something like this. When we're in this region here, x is negative, x squared minus 16 is positive. We know it's going to head to 0 from below. So it's got to do something like this.